we are going to be going over the simple scalper method. As pretty much shown on I Am Academy, this is the strategy that Millie Mills uses a lot when she's trading. And this is the first strategy that really taught me how to trade as well. So before we get started, is a few tabs that we want to have open. The first one is forexfactory.com. This is always going to be the first place that you start when you check your news. So I'm just going to open all of the tabs and then I'm going to go through them and why we should be on them. So we got pocketoption.com. We have forexfactory.com. We're going to go with live charts, currency strength meter, and then of course we need the Liberty scanner. So these are just the steps that I go through when I'm getting into trades, and I consider this the HFX trading checklist. And you can do this with any strategy as long as you're not skipping the steps, and you can do it for any time frame as well. So step one is check the news. You want to make sure you don't see any red folders. That's the main thing that you're looking for here. So today's date is the 18th. And we just see a red folder. It says for everything, but no particular pair is highlighted. So once you see that, you just know you're in the clear. If you see an orange folder like this, you just want to lower your risk, but it seems like you already have pretty low risk anyway. And if you see a yellow folder or no folder, that's just the best thing that you can see. It just pretty much lets you know that there's clear skies, and you can go ahead and move forward with your trades. Um, so step two, after you check the news, we don't see anything here. This is when you actually want to choose your currency pair based on payout. And you just want the payout to be above 70%, right? So let me just shake this off. You just want the payout to be above 70%. So I'm going to go with AUDJPY is 70%. Um, you can trade pairs under, I would say under 70 if, let's just say you already did your markups, you already did your analysis, and then like on the live session after everybody clears, that's when the payouts drop. So if you already did your markups, you already have your analysis, and you feel comfortable staying in that pair, after it drops under 70, you can definitely do that. Do you know why we do not trade OTC or why beginner traders should not trade OTC?
Because it's very risky. That's when the market is closed, right?
Yep, the market is closed, and there's no real scanner to track that price. It's pretty much a private session between essentially the banks and the brokers, so they can regulate everything that's going on within those trades. So it is extremely risky. Um, this market is open on the weekends, but that doesn't mean you should trade on the weekends. And also, when the market closes daily at 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's also when you don't want to trade. So for now, we got UDJPY. And then step three, we are going to go to live charts. And live charts is really where you start to collect your confirmations. Because as you are analyzing all these things, you're essentially just taking mental notes like, okay, I checked the news. I don't see anything there. I have my currency pair. It looks pretty steady. Now you want to choose your position in the market. Are you going to be buying? Are you going to be selling? And what factors are going to lead to that decision? So the main factor would be who's in control of the market, and you always want to go with the majority. So since we're doing AUDJPY, I'm just gonna write AJ right here. So that's the pair that we're doing. And then I'm gonna start to really count the confirmations that I see for a buying market, the confirmations that I see for a selling market, and whoever has the most at the end, that's who I'm gonna go with. That's the trade that I'm gonna take. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, cool. So if we're doing AUDJPY, when it comes to the currency strength meter, you have the base currency, which is the first currency, and you have the quote currency, which is the second currency. So if the base, and let's just use AUDJPY as an example, if the base, right, is stronger than the quote, in this case is weaker, if the base is stronger than the quote, right, let's just say this had more bars. If the base is stronger than the quote, that means that the market, the buyers would get the first point. If the quote is stronger than the base, like we can see here, if the quote is stronger than the base, then you know that you should be looking for sales. So AUDJPY, it looks like it's a heavy selling market, so the sellers are going to get 1 point. If we were looking at GBP USD, would the buyers or sellers get the first point?
The sellers.
Yep. Okay. And what about, let's see, USD JPY?
USD JPY. The sellers again.
Yep, exactly. So it's pretty simple to spot out. I know a lot of people get stuck right here, but it's really nothing to overthink. It's just like, is it the first one higher or lower, buyers or sellers? So next thing after we determine that, we're going to actually choose. Did you want to do Simple Scalper, the original one, or 2.0?
Um, whichever is better. You said Millie Mills uses the original or the 2.0.
She uses the original and she uses Web Slinger.
Yes. So we can stick to the original if anything.
Okay, no problem. No problem. So this is how it looks. Make sure that you cross check the strategy that's being the currency that's being scanned with the currency that's on your scanner. So we have AUDJPY. You can just click anywhere on the screen to get your box to come up. And we're gonna start analyzing this in the 5 minute. So the first thing you want to do, or the first thing that I like to do now, before I even start to count my confirmations, is I just like to figure out which candle I'm going to be focusing on, and when I'm going to enter that trade. Now, something important to note is that if we're looking at this chart on a 5 minute time frame, right? M5 is always where I start. That just means that a new candle is going to start every 5 minutes. So with that being said, if the time is 7:33 right now, what time is our newest candle going to form?
If it's 7:33, at 7:38.
7:38? No, it will be at 7:35. Because it's always going to be like, if you're looking at the 5 minute chart, it's always going to be like 5 minutes from the top of the hour. So it would be 7:35, 7:40, 7:45, 7:50, 7:55. So we know that the next best time to get into a trade would be at 7:35, which we can see is in 1 minute and 10 seconds, right?
Oh yeah, because the current candle has a minute left. Well, about a minute left.
Yep, which means that the newest candle is going to form in a minute, and we would want to get into the trade as soon as that candle starts, right? As soon as that candle starts. So the reason why we want to start with 5 minutes is so that we can have 5 full minutes to do our analysis and not have to rush. But let's just say we did have all the confirmations on this candle, and we said that this was a sell. In 40 seconds, that's when we would want to enter the trade. Like, we wouldn't want to enter as soon as we get the confirmations. We will wait for that very next candle. And this applies whether you're using the 5 minute, whether you're using the 1 minute, whether you're using the 15 minute. The start of the candle is going to be your very best entry point. So I'm just going to wait about 20 seconds um, and into this trade, just to show you how you can use the time frame, like entering at exactly when the candle starts, to get the best entry point for yourself. So we can enter this trade in about 5 seconds. We can enter this trade in about 5 seconds. Okay, we should be able to get in now. And then we should see that this trade is going to be pushed into profit. And we noted it was going to be pushed into profit because the confirmations on the previous candle were all for a sell, and we got in as soon as the new candle formed, which is why you see we're in 11 points in profit within 1 second of the trade being activated.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, so that's and look, it's going down. Look at this, 20 points in profit, right? And this is really going to help you with your entry points, because after you count the confirmations, all you have to really do is sit there and wait for the next opportunity to get into a trade, which can be the 1 minute time frame if you like M1, or the 5 minute time frame if you like M5. So does that make sense so far? So we can go on to marking up your charts.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because look, we 23 points in profit, and that's just off the strength of the timing, right? Before the confirmations, which is amazing. I love that strategy. But putting everything together really 10x's your results. So cool. So now that we know that, the next thing after you choose your strategy, before you get in, you want to see how much time you have left and which time frame you're trading on. So we know we have about 4 minutes left until the next candle, right? Because it's 7:36 and we have this much time left. So let's start to mark up our chart. So on the left panel over here, you're going to see some tools and you want to find the trend line tool. So you want to click on this. There's a little arrow to open up the rest of it. And you want to get a vertical line, and you want to place a vertical line to the left of your candle and to the right of your candle. And I'm going to just make it a little bit thicker so that we can see it. Okay. There we go. So essentially, I just call this building a house. You want to build a house for your candle. And this is just helping you figure out which candle you should be focusing on, because there's a lot of stuff happening on your screen, but the only place you need to be focused on is the candle in between these two lines. So you're always going to place them one to the left of the current candle and one to the right of the current candle. And then you want to do the same thing with the horizontal lines. You just want to take one, you want to put one at the top of the candle, right? And it can be, wait 1 second. It can be as close or as far away from the candle as you want it to be, right? It can be as close or as far away from the candle as you want it to be, as long as the candle is within this box. Um, so far, do you understand like how we got here? We just put two walls and then a top and the bottom on the candle.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And are you able, like, do you know how to find this to recreate this on your own screen?
Yeah, I just go to I click on trend line,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
All right, cool. So once you build this, the two walls tell you which candle to focus on. The top line is always going to be where you're going to sell at. Like if the candle ever touches that top line, that's where you know, okay, at this number or higher, I should get in for a sell. And the bottom line is always going to be where you buy. So if the candle touches that bottom line, you want to go with that number or lower for a buy. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And Chacha, I just have one question.
Mm-hmm.
When we entered the trade like a couple of minutes ago, the only indication we had was for the strength, right? That was the only one that we went on because it was
Well,
selling.
no, well, no, I just looked at the confirmations on this candle really quickly, but I wanted to demonstrate that once you have the confirmations plus the perfect timing, you can get into the trade. So you don't just want to use the currency strength, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to get into a trade and show you like this is like the perfect timing, because once we go through the confirmations, you'll be able to see how this was a perfect setup for a sell. It's a
Oh, okay.
perfect sell setup.
Okay.
Um, All right, so, and this is something important to note as well. As long as your candle is within this box that you've built, your entry points are still valid. Like this red line could be this close to the candle, or it can be this far from the candle. But you want it to be close to the candle, and you want the candle to have some breathing room, just because if it goes back up to that number, which is 222, we know that at 222 or higher, we could get in for a sell, and we know that at 170 or lower, we could get in for a buy. And this applies to all strategies. You can build this house, um, find your selling entry point, find your buying entry point, and then you go through the confirmations. So there's a few words. Have you on any of my videos? Have you heard me go over like trigger words or like just trigger words for a buy or for a sell?
Like resistance and support.
Uh, No, like, okay, I'll give them to you now. So when you're going through these confirmations, you're gonna ask yourself certain questions to determine whether you're gonna go for the buy or if you're gonna go for the sell. So the questions you're gonna ask yourself are, what what color is the current candle?
Red.
Okay. No, wait, are you writing this down? These are the questions you want to ask yourself for every candle.
Okay, I was gonna go back to the video like after the recording, but yeah, let
Oh,
me.
okay, okay. Um, so you want to ask yourself, what color is the current candle?
Okay.
That's the first question. So if it's red, then the sellers would get a point. The second question would be, is the candle above or below the dot? And if it's below, since that's a trigger word for a sell, the sellers would get the point.
And that's the parabolic dot, right?
Yep, the parabolic star.
Okay, let me write that down.
Okay. The third question should be, what color is the volume bar under the candle? And that's red. So you also get a sell. And then with these two indicators down here, they look the same, but they're not the same. So you just want to ask yourself, is this one facing up or down? If it's up, the buyers get a point. If it's down, the sellers get a point. So the questions are always going to be the same, but the answers can change based on what's going on in the market. So the trigger words, and let me just write this down. Oops. And let me just write this down on the screen. The trigger words for a buy or the answers to your questions would be, so for a buy, it can be blue, up, above, over, higher. And for a sell, it can be red, down, below, lower, under. So these are the words to the questions that you will want to ask yourself. So I'm going to clear all this stuff off my screen. It looks like another candle is about to come up. Actually, I'm just going to switch the pair and we're going to ask ourselves these questions on something else. So GBP and ZD. So I'm going to do my setup really quickly. And you want to do this on every chart. Let me make sure this is on 5 minutes. So I'm going to put a vertical line here. I'm going to put a vertical line here. I'm going to put a horizontal line here and there. So now we have our candle and we're going to ask ourselves the questions. And this is going to determine if we're getting in for a buy or for a sell. So what color is the current candle?
It's blue.
Okay, so who would get the point, the buyers or the sellers?
The buyers.
Okay. Is the candle above or below the purple dot?
It's above.
Okay, so who would get the point, the buyers or the sellers? Okay. What color is the volume bar?
Blue.
Okay, another point for the buyers. Is this line facing up or down?
Upwards.
Okay, another point for the buyers. And is this line facing up or down?
Yeah, up.
Okay, so another point for the buyers. Now, since we have our top line for the sell and the bottom line for a buy, what would our entry point be for the buy?
It would be 655.
Yep, or lower, right?
Lower, yeah.
655 or lower, because we have everything that says we should get in. Now, if we go to GBP NZD, let's see if it's even up here. I don't even see it.
Yeah, I don't have it on my pocket option.
Yeah, it looked like it's probably not loaded yet because the market is still just opening back up. But
Okay.
all right, I'll go to something else. But is this making sense though?
Yes, complete sense. Yeah.
Okay, good, good, good. So let's just take it from the top. I'm gonna do Euro JPY. That's my currency. It's over 70%. I already know it's no news. I'm gonna come here. Euro JPY. So who's gonna get the first point? The buyers or the sellers?
Euro JPY. Um, it's consolidating, right?
Well, Euro's a little weaker.
Euro JPY. Oh, I'm sorry. I was on my screen. Euro JPY. Oh yeah, it's JPY is higher, so we're gonna sell.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the sellers.
Oh, so it's not the same thing like on each current currency strength meter, or do both
Well,
have
it is,
their
but
own
every time I think it refreshes every 5 minutes. So every time you switch your page, you just want to make sure you refresh it anytime you come back to it. Like if you refresh yours now, it should probably look different.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so always make sure that you refresh it. So we got the sellers on Euro JPY. Let's do the same thing over here, Euro JPY.
Oh, and Chacha, how do you put your pocket option like that to show white instead of black?
Oh, 1 second.
Well, yeah, you can tell me after. I just want to remember that question because I lose my memory a lot.
Nah, me too. Same, same, same. But it's in the settings. But so all right, we're on Euro JPY.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get these confirmations. So we got a new candle. This candle actually just started. It's 4 minutes left. So perfect. What color is the current candle and who gets the first point?
It's red, so seller.
Okay. Are the candles above or below the parabolic SAR?
It's below.
Okay. What color is the volume bar?
Red, so seller.
Okay. Is this line facing up or down?
Down.
And what about this one?
Also down.
Okay, so the sellers have a really strong hold. And where will we be selling at? What's our entry point?
Um, 818.
Right? Or higher.
Uh,
But we could always lower it down because as long as the candle is within the box, we could lower the entry point. So,
so 808 or higher.
yep, 808 or higher, we can get in for a sell. Let's see what's happening over here. All right, it's 779. Now, and this is something that you can do as well. So let's just say, all right, we got those confirmations on the 5 minute, but the market didn't push back up to that point yet. That's when you would want to come down to the 1 minute to see what's happening on that time frame, and you would just readjust your lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just readjust our lines. And we could even bring our entry point down a little bit lower. And of course, you would count the same confirmations. And it looks like it's still sellers. Like if you glance at it, you can see sell, 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 sell.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I'm trying to move this line over. There we go. And then we can actually move this line down because the candle's in the box. And that would just give us a new entry point of 776 or higher for a sell. Okay. But does that make sense? While we went from the 5 to the 1?
Yes, it does.
All right, awesome. So what we're going to do, we have our confirmations. Now we're just going to wait 20 seconds so that when we get in, we have the best entry point because a new candle is going to be forming. Oh, look at this. But we got 15 seconds left, so let's see. And we waiting for 776 or higher. All right, it's way above 776, but we need that candle.
So you wouldn't get in until the start of the candle, because then what if it buys, right?
Exactly. You would just wait for the start of the new candle because on the previous candle, which we can see, we had confirmations for the sell. So that's what we went by, the previous candle on the 1 minute. And then look at this. We in profit, right? And it's only by 1 point. It's only by 1 point, but look at this now. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh,
So we
wow.
got 30 seconds left. Let's just see what happens. Like once you get your confirmations, you just have to determine if you're getting in on the next candle for the 5 or for the 1. But the faster you can do your analysis, like, oh, okay, this looks like a sell. Once you know what those trigger words are and things you're looking for, look at this. You're gonna be so many points in profit
It,
every single time.
okay. So it didn't matter that towards the end of a candle, all our indications turned towards the buyer, right?
Well, no, it didn't matter because remember on the 5 minute we had the confirmations for the sell. We only went down to the 1 minute because the 5 minute was taking a long time to go back up. But overall, the trend was selling.
Okay. I got it.
Overall, the trend was selling. So, I mean, I would say like as you're practicing and stuff, definitely just stick to like the 5 minute analysis so you can have time to collect the confirmations. But then the quicker you're able to spot, like, all right, what's going on in the market, then the quicker you're able to get in on the next 1 minute candle. So let's go to GBP CAD and see. And it's not about rushing, but I just want to see like how quick you are able to be like, all right, this is a buy or a sell.
Yeah.
So looking at the current candle, what would you do?
Let me go back to your screen. Okay. You would, it goes towards the seller because the volume bar is red. The parabolic, well, it's under the parabolic dot, so that's also an indication that it's gonna sell. The candle itself is red, so it's gonna sell. And what are those lines below?
Oh, this one is
Yeah.
called the Stochastic Oscillator, but I
Mhm.
just call it the SO because stochastic take too long to say
Yeah.
sometimes. And then I just be like that line down there.
Yeah, that
uh,
line down there. They're both selling. Like, I mean, they're both in a downward movement, so they're selling.
Okay, cool. So you know, because since you already set up your little house, that takes 2 seconds too. You
Mhm.
know that you could have gotten for this trade. Let's just say as soon as the candle started, we could have gotten for the trade because the market should be dropping. Or you can wait for it to get back to the entry point of 720 or higher,
Mhm.
right? So you can get in as soon as that candle starts, I mean, whenever it started, or you could just wait until it gets back to the entry point that you set as long as your candle stays within that box. Like your entry points could be that tight, right? It could be that tight, but you just want to have a little bit of space like that.
Got
Sure.
it.
Yeah, it's like you'll always have a buy entry, you'll always have a sell entry. It's just what is the market doing right now? But if you can count those confirmations as quickly as you just did, now all you gotta do is wait. Like literally just be patient. So let's see what's happening with this trade. We got in based on time. And confirmations. Now let's see if it's gonna be a clear. Because if so, that would be 3-0 so far on the training. Based off of, look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful drops. It's just amazing when you can just make money from home by looking at some rectangles. Like
Right.
that's really, it's just like, this is so amazing. Like, wow.
And I
That's
was just telling Whitney this. I was telling Whitney that I really do enjoy doing this. Like it's like okay, you have to learn how to master the skills and everything, but it's not like because me myself, I didn't really like love school. Like yeah, I was an honor student, but I like more hands-on stuff. So I was like, oh, learning the skill, it's gonna take so much time and I'm not gonna like it's gonna be boring, but I really love doing this. Like it really excites me.
yeah, like how could it not? Like making $210 in 3 minutes, like what
Right.
is more exciting than that? Like, so but yeah, that's really how simple it is. You just you know what you're looking for. So I'm going to just go back in the past and I'm just going to highlight a different candle. And I just want you to tell me the confirmations that you get. What would your entry point be for the buyer for the sell? Like what would you do? So I'm gonna just go to a different candle. Let me know what we're looking at, what's how many confirmations you see, and what your entry points are. So let's go with the candle in that box and let me know what the analysis is and which entry you would actually take.
Okay, so it's a blue candle. So that's one point indicating that we're gonna buy. The volume bar is blue, so we're also gonna buy. The SO lines below are blue, I mean are going up, so we're gonna buy as well. So that's 4 points that we're gonna buy. And the I don't oh yeah, the parabolic dot is below the candle, so that means we're gonna buy.
Mm-hmm.
And our entry point for a sell would be 625 and oh no, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and for a buy it would be 487 and below.
Yeah, perfect, 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 perfect. Now, this is the simple scalper strategy. That is the a perfect analysis. That was so great. Now, I'm going to just show you simple scalper 2.0. And I want you to essentially do the same thing you just did because once you understand like what you're looking for and it all comes down to is it more red or is it more blue, you can apply that same analysis on different strategies. So let's look at simple scalper 2.0 and ask ourselves, it's a little bit different questions, but it's essentially the same thing. So it's buyers versus sellers, right?
Yeah.
So we see a blue candle, right? So that's for the buyers.
Hmm.
We see that it's under the dot, so that's for the sellers, right? Well, it's I'm sorry, it's above the dot, so that's for the buyers. We see a blue thing right here, right?
So that's like the volume bar, but not really.
Exactly. It's just called, they just changed the name, but it's called like a histogram. So that's for the buyers as well. And
Okay.
and then down here, what do we see? Red or blue?
We see red, so that's for a seller.
Exactly. But it's two different things down here. There's a cloud and a line. So it's two different points. But we see two, a red cloud and a red line. But even still, the buyers you would go for the buy because the buyers have more confirmations. And you would do the same thing, right? Put your horizontal line. Oops, let's make it black. Let's make it, let's change the width, right? And it will be the same exact concept, right? Who has more, the buyers or the sellers? So it's very, very, very simple, right? It's very simple once you understand how to find your entry points and what the confirmations are. So let's just go to the past and do one more example on this strategy. It's very transferable. Come on, line, move down here. All right, so let's look at this candle that's about to be in the box, and we're gonna count the confirmations, right? So we got what color is the current candle?
It's blue, so for buyers.
Mm-hmm.
The histogram is blue, so that's for the buyer as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the the lines down there, that blue cloud, I guess, that's a buyer too.
Mm-hmm.
Any other indications? Oh well, the line that like intersects with the blue cloud is also blue, so that's for another for the buy. So
Mm-hmm.
that's four. Yeah, that's four. And that's it, right? And for the entry point, we would want to look to sell at 694 or higher and buy at 646 and lower.
Exactly. Perfect. That's literally perfect. So, and we just gonna do one more web slinger just so you can see it's all the same thing. Like you're just looking for red or blue, right? Red or blue, and what your confirmations are. So we got the web slinger. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna build my little house. I'm gonna get my vertical line. I'm gonna build it on the side of the current candle. I'm gonna put one right there. I'm gonna put one right there. I'm gonna take my horizontal line. I'm gonna put one right there. I'm gonna put one right there. And then I'm gonna ask myself the confirmation questions, right? I'm gonna do my little tally, right? So what color is the current candle?
It's red, so that's for the seller.
Okay.
Um, let me see if I see any other indication. That red line, like like the red line's going in a downward motion. Would that be an indicator?
Well, yep. For this one, you would just ask yourself, are the candles up? Wait, that's too small. Are the candles above or below the lines? And if they're below, sellers, above, buyers.
Oh, okay, yeah. So seller.
hmm And then you would say, are the candles above or below the cloud?
Oh, it's below, so seller.
And then what color is the cloud, red or blue?
Red.
Okay. And what would your entry point be?
For a sell 625 and higher, and for a buy 614 and lower.
Yep. So
But we're
you
selling.
Yep, and we're selling. So we will wait for 625 or higher. We will
Hmm.
go to GBP USD. I don't even know if it's up here. All right, it's only 50%, but we would just wait for the next candle, which should be at 758. And then of course, let's just say we would go for a sell, right? It's 625 or higher. You can see the market is at 622. I just got in based on time, but I can also wait for it to go to 625, right? I can also wait. So let's see what happens. But is it really like easier than you thought it would be, like to really find what your confirmations are and get in based on any strategy?
Yeah, it's way easier.
It's so I be telling people like it's not
Sometimes
rocket
like people
science.
be making six figures, so I'm like, this must be difficult, but like really anybody can learn how to trade on their own.
Literally, if you just take the time out of your day, like at least take an hour out of your day, 30 minutes out of your day to really just learn one new thing, you will be like, wow, like
Right.
imagine if I did this every day for 2 weeks, or like you just get so excited at the possibility of everything that could happen. Um, So we about to see this one looking real close, but that's okay because the entry point was 625 or higher. If we had gotten at 625, of course we would have cleared that trade, but I got it at 621. So yeah, that's really the basis of it. Knowing how to set your vertical lines, knowing how to set your horizontal lines, and knowing that no matter what the indicators are, if it's red is for a sell, if it's blue is for a buy. If it's down is for a sell, if it's up is for a buy. If it's just like it's certain things you look for and you can do anything. So which strategy do you think that you're going to stick with and practice with?
Definitely simple scalper. I think I'm gonna stick to simple scalper.
Okay.
Oh, and
Okay.
I have
That's
a
a good one.
question.
That's a
I
good one.
heard that like for one of the strategies, it focuses more on like trending lines or whatever, and one focuses on consolidating. Which one is that one?
Okay, so the simple scalpers are going to be for consolidating, and the web slinger is going to be for trending, and
Okay,
pickpocket is interchangeable.
okay, got it, got it. Let me write that down. Okay, let me see. Oh yeah, and then just going back to that question about pocket option. Um, I'm fine with the black screen. That's fine. But how do you do like two trades like at a time? I saw you doing it in one of your videos that you can do multiple. Like you can see the charts for two currency pairs.
Oh, okay, okay. So pocket option has a bunch of different settings. Oh, I gotta tell you how to change the color too. So right here, this little
Hmm.
icon next to the logo, and I don't think you can do this on your phone, but on the desktop you definitely can, or your laptop. You click there and then you just pick how many charts you want, whether you're looking at two screens, three screens, or four. So let's just say I want to do three different pairs, and I want to
Oh,
look at GBP USD and anything that's dealing with GBP. Like I can just have my all my GBPs here, JPY and AUD. And I can just look at three different things. So I can be like, all right, well, this pair could be buying, this pair could be selling, and this pair could be selling. Um, and then you can just have them at the top too, like that, so that you can see everything that's going on at once. So I know that when these two pairs are in profit, GBP USD is not in profit, and based on this bar, I can literally see how much time I have left. So
Oh,
two of my trades are in profit. One of my trades is not in profit, but we still have, well, we can see over here how much time we have left, or we can look at the bar. And then again, you could have up to 4 charts. And if you wanted to get into this trade for sale, of course, that will also be at the top. And yeah, this looks so complicated right now. Like
no,
what it's
no, but I would only do two.
Yeah, so you can really turn it up just to see how certain pairs interact with each other. Like if GBP, let's just say is news on GBP, you might want to look at all the this is as you become an advanced trader, like you might want to look at all the GBP pairs to see that if GBP is the thing that's weighing everything down, then I'm going to
Mhm.
sell anything with GBP in it because that currency is weaker. And you really could just take multiple trades. Or let's just say you do find your entry point. Let's just say your entry point is 617 or higher. That's because that's where the market is at now. You can just get in as many times as you want on that same entry point as well. So it'll just come up on the side.
Oh, you can click it multiple times and you can get in multiple trades.
Yep. Yep. Like
Oh,
as you can see, I entered this trade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So yep, you can definitely do that. And if it goes into profit, sheesh, look at that.
damn.
I know $750 and it's still a minute. Like that's the gag. And it's
And it's
five
still
seconds.
going down. Oh my goodness.
Ew, look at this. It's about to be like you just won $450. Ow. I love it. So and we still got these two trades going. And it's the same entry point. It's the same entry point. So it's like you can really be eating off the market and be like, well, I'm done for the week. Wrap it up in one session.
Right.
So yeah. And to
And
change the
then
color,
one last question, Chacha. Can you do a pending order on pocket option?
yeah, definitely. That's the only place that I know that you can do it
Hello,
other than
can you hear me?
MetaTrader 4. Yeah, can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
It's breaking up a little. I think it's my internet connection saying it's unstable. One second.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What did you say about the pending orders?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to learn how to do a pending order on pocket option.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, so let's just say, remember we analyzed GBP USD and it told us that our entry point was 625 or higher, right?
Yes.
So pretty much you would take the analysis that you got from here. Let's do another analysis really quickly. We can see that this is still selling. And we can see that our new entry point for a sell will be 632 or higher. Okay. So you know how to find your entry points and you know how to identify them. So you would just take this number and plug it in. So pocket option, you would go on the right panel, you would click pending trades, right? Then you would click by the asset price because we know what the price is because that's our entry point. So we're going to click that, make sure it's the right pair, and then make sure 137632, right? You just want to make sure that this is the entry point that is on your scanner. You always want to change your payout to 70% because if it's 70 or lower if it's 69 or lower, it's not going to trigger. But if it's 70 and up, it will. You want to choose your time frame. So depending on if you're doing this yourself or if you're using the Swipes app, you're going to choose the time frame that you should be choosing and put your trade amount in and then put whether it's for a buy or a sell. So if we know that when the market gets to 632 or anything higher, we want to get in for a sell, right? Let's just say it's 3 minutes. We're going to do that and it's going to pop up right there, right? Now, how much is this paying out? Because let me just show you what it would be not realistically, but a real life example. So the market is at 608 right now. I'm going to just go to pending trades. I'm going to click by the asset price. I'm gonna say when the market gets to 609, right? I want to get in for a 1 minute sell. And I'm gonna change the payout to 50% because that's how much it is right now. And I'm gonna click sell.
Okay.
So now I shouldn't have to click. Well, you don't see my hands, but I'm gonna turn my camera on and you can see that I'm not gonna click anything. My hands are off of my mouse, but you can see that the trade
It
just triggered
automatically went, yeah.
once it hit 609. So pretty much once you get your entry points on the scanner, you can just plug it in. Or if you hear, let's just say you're on a live session, but your computer lags or freezes, you can just be like, all right, well, I heard her say 632. Let me just go plug it in so I don't miss it in case the market decide to act crazy or spike me out or something like that, you know?
Okay, yeah, got it, got it.
So it really comes in handy a lot. But and yeah, the last thing to change your settings, your theme, you go here and then you click, well, you click where it says stranger, beginner, whatever it says for you.
Hmm.
And then you want to click settings, theme, and then change it to light theme.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay.
So
Thank you
all right, Miss
so
Andrea.
so much. This is very helpful.
All right, you're welcome. Did you have any last questions that you wanted to ask?
No, I think I went through it. Let me check my phone because I know I made a notes document.
Okay.
Mm, no, no, we spoke about everything that I had concerns about.
All right. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna send you this recording as soon as it comes to my email. And if you do have any questions, just feel free to hit me up.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.